All right. Good morning, everybody. Bright and early today. I don't know if there's any audio on that opening, but whatever. Do the best we can. Hope everybody's having an awesome morning. I know you're wondering, well, what the heck are we starting so early for? But that's just the way we have to roll today. We are dealing with heat issues here where I live, so we're going early. Solve that problem. So hope my friends in the UK, across the pond, East Coast, bright and early, rocking it out. So welcome. Today what we're going to do, we're going to talk short game, we're going to talk iron play, and we're going to go over some things that I think are going to really help our game. So one thing I noticed, I just wanted to kind of go over. So I played yesterday two rounds, and what happens is when I start playing a lot more on course, I start developing some bad habits because on course is so much different than either at the range or even obviously here hitting in a net. So you just deal with, you start lining up on course differently than you do here, and it really affects your body. And what happens is when I start playing a lot, I have a tendency to start missing more and more left and start hooking the ball. So I come back here in my net, and I'm going to work on a couple things to help get me straightened out, because I'm going to play again this week, and I don't want these things to keep creeping in, because once they start, man, it's hard to stop. So we're getting there, right? So this is one drill I always go to help me if I start missing left a lot. I just put the stick on my club, and I'm just going to hit little 7-irons right in my net, because I can't turn this over or I'm going to whack myself in the side here. So I just want to, just these little guys right here. Start getting my body rotated better. And it also helps with my aim, hitting into the net. I always like my mat like perfectly straight where I'm aiming. So I just kind of adjust that. Just get in here and make sure I'll start getting over here like this, and this shoulder starts getting in front of the other shoulder. So I've got to make sure my shoulders are square, and this little drill just helps me really rotate through the ball. So if you're having problems, you start getting a little crooked, some bad habits start coming back, especially when you're on course. Best thing to do is get off, get in hit into your net, and just do little things that will help you get back on track. And this is one of the ones I go to all the time. Right in there. And I'll hit just a bunch of shots like this. Right in there. Because the last thing I want is my irons to start flipping out to the left. All right. Fly. So any questions you have, shoot them out. One thing I don't mind in this drill is getting my left elbow out. Left, like a chicken wing. If you're missing left, chicken wing that thing for sure. Like that. That's like anti-left move. That's that Arnold Palmer style swing. You just get that that front elbow up. So that's a good drill to do. I don't really focus on that on the course. too much because, I just want to get feeling here and then let it happen on the course. So I noticed that, my drives yesterday when I was playing, I was right on the edge of a duck hook. Like, it could have happened any second. And I had to hang on, like, for dear life all day. And luckily it worked out, and I was able to manage it and not duck hook anything. I pull hooked a little, not any snappers, but I'm playing again later today, so I know that, I'm right on that edge and it could come back. So I want to make sure I spend a little bit of time just reinforcing those good things that are going to help me, not hook the ball and try to get a little fade back. And then you just come back and try to feel the same thing with, without the stick there. And then now I'm feeling like, oh, okay, those are going straight. I'm not worrying so much about it. All right, I'm gonna have to do some camera adjustments as we go because the sun's rising. So we're gonna have to fix that, but we're good. Okay, I'm a lefty, my misses are straight pull. Okay. Yeah, so do that same drill I was just doing with the stick. That will definitely help. So the straight pull is the same. You could be coming over the top a little bit with the shut face, and if you do that, you come over the top, right? Your face is square, which is good. That's a good thing. And it's squared up, so then your club is traveling. For you, you're a lefty, so it's the opposite, right? But, you'd be coming this way, and this would be here. But you're a lefty. You deal with this all the time. So, okay. So you coming over the top, right? A lot of people who come over the top, their face is either square to their target, which would be pointing there. So I come over the top and my face is square, which is open to my swing path, right? My swing path would be here. My face is square to my target. It's actually open to the swing path, creates a giant slice. So it starts right where you're aiming and then just bananas out into right field. So that's not what's going on with you. You're coming probably over the top with it's a square club face to your target line, super close to where you're aiming, which is actually a good thing because your body is squaring up your club face. And so your ball is just going straight. It's going straight in relationship to your swing path, and that's a good thing because then you only have to fix one thing now, swing path, right? So again, you could get your stick, and now you're kind of doing the same drill, but I'm focusing, now my focus is just back here, and you're going like this, so that stick is dipping down, and you want that stick to get flat. So that's your drill. Take it back and then make that, what is that, horizontal, parallel to the ground, and that's your drill, right? So that's your feeling. You want to feel this on your downswing as you rotate. And then that right elbow, or your left elbow would be in, and you'd be able to release out here. So that's the feeling I'm trying to get. In a real swing, you'll never do that. That would be tough, but that's the feeling you want to try to have. Just up here, flatten it out, and that's that carry the tray move that you hear a lot about. Take that stick, boom, and that's your drill. And since your face is already square to target line, your body and your hands have a fine time squaring that up. You'll be good. And you'll do that sometimes. It's fine. You're just trying to develop feeling that you want. And this is something I work on all the time as well, because I miss for me left. And I don't want, I don't want to do that. I want to hit it straight, and I'll get across the line here. Again, if you're having swing plane issues, you come across the line, again, I come back here. So I know I take my swing and I get like a wrist cock up here, and it gets the club way across the line. And then for me to get back, I have to do a lot of rerouting. So again, I'll do this drill all day long where I'm just trying to flatten out that stick. Like, that one's great. And this is something that, if you really want a great short game, again, that's what you want to do as well. Because with your irons and your wedges, for me, this is what I like. I like shallowing out the club face so that my wedge can hit the ground a little before the ball, on my short game shots, and I'm utilizing the bounce. And if you hit behind the ball just a little bit and you use the bounce first, you're going to be totally fine in most cases. All right, let me scroll up here, look at some of your questions. All right. Okay, what is the best training aid to get rid of a chicken wing? You know what? Here, I got this lying around. This is called Slot Shot. It was sent to me. You can use this. Obviously a towel works too, a club head cover, a lot of things. This just has a little clip. I'm not paid to rep this thing. I don't really get anything off it, but you could put that under your front elbow, if that's your chicken wing elbow, and work on little chip shots with that tucked in. It really helps, extend, but you got to be careful because it could cause some of this. So you want to make sure you're extending your arms a little bit. And then if you drop it, you just, bam, it's connect. And you can put it on your back elbow as well. That works well too. So that's just, it's called Slot Shot. But like I said, you could use a towel. It's totally fine. Like that. Just adjusting the camera here. As the sun rises, it gets brighter and brighter. We got to just fix things a little bit. That's that guy. Okay. Let's see. All my clubs are about 13 years old, and I'm looking to get new ones. What would you suggest getting first? Well, that's a great question. I would go and hit a bunch of clubs and see what kind of look and feel you like that really works for you. I would, depending on your handicap, I would definitely get a cavity back. If you're mid to higher handicap, I'd get a cavity back. And so, you don't want to get a blades or something like that. So nice forgiving style club. And yeah, get fitted. Have that lie angle at least looked at. That's this angle here, how the club sits on the ground. So that when you hit it, you're always hitting it flat. That's probably the most important thing. Yeah, okay, and he mentioned he just got fit for a putter. Yeah, a lot of people overlook that in club fitting, is getting fit for your putter. That's incredibly important. There's a lot of things, like this one is great. I like it a little shorter, so I'm going to cut this down a little bit. I just like to hang a little bit, but you want that putter, flat on the ground. You want it to hang how it was designed. And then what's critical on your putter is getting your loft adjusted. Because Some of you set your hands back. Some of you are way forward. So you have to have the proper loft so that you get the right, what they call the skip skid ratio. And that's the amount your ball actually gets airborne for a little while when you're putting, which is normal. But you don't want that ball to have any backspin while it does it. You want it to kind of launch and not spin and then hit and roll. That's the goal with the putter. So that way you're getting a true roll, and that's really, really important. If you're getting backspin on your putter, and adjust this camera over here too, while you're yeah, you know, if you're getting too much backspin, it's going to really affect how your ball rolls. Your roll is just going to be, it's going to spin backwards and then hit and move to the side. And that's going to affect your putting in a big time way. Oh, that's too dark. Sorry about that. What's going on? I need Eric here. My boy Eric, who was helping me out last week. He's not around. So we're solo today, but everything's working. So I don't know. What do you say about that, Eric? He had some help last week. My buddy was here. So anyways, okay. What's good? Okay. Randy, what's a good tip to stop from picking the club up? All right. There's a few good ones. Okay. I would do this. So there's two kinds of people out there. There's people who don't pick the club up, and they're like this. You know, you see these guys sometimes. And then there's these guys. You know, just pick it straight up. So you want to find this nice spot in between that where you kind of coming back and up. So here's a great drill. So I'll put this ball about, how far is that? It's not a foot, almost a foot behind the ball I'm going to hit. Start there. And then as I swing, I want to make sure I push that back. And the more I pick the club up, the farther back I'll put that. So let's put it a foot back. All right? Now I have to take my backswing and hit that backwards on my backswing. And I just put it straight back. It's harder. Like if I put it on the, like that's kind of where the club should go, back in here, a little inside. But, you know, I'll put it straight back just to make this drill hard. So I've got to really I'm kind of extending my arms. I don't want to go out here. I just want to push these back. So that's a foot. That's even more than a foot now. And just make sure you hit that one backwards. Just touch it with the club and you're good. That's what I work on when I feel I'm picking the club up. And I would work my kids all the time on that drill. Sometimes we'd put that ball here just so they get if you get it real close and do it like here. And now I would say you want to roll that along the putter as long as possible. It's not a putter. It's an iron, 7-iron. So I would want to. There's two ways to do that. You can put it real close and just push it straight back as long as possible. So I guess the good way to look at this is I'm not pushing it like fast. I'm keeping it on the 7-iron as long as possible. See? And I didn't like that because I took it back too far inside. So it's just That's how you get a slow backswing. And then if you're picking the club up, you want to put it, put it way back there for now. Randy, I think that would really help. So I'm really, like, I can't get that on a normal swing. I have to kind of manipulate my swing to be able to hit that. See, I missed. That's great. I missed again. So keep doing that. It's a great exaggeration drill. Hopefully that helps. It's a good one. Okay, let's see. I've always felt uncomfortable hitting my driver and tend to swing out to in, slicing the ball, and have an open face. Suggest fixes for both. Okay. So you're swinging out to in. Who's this? David. All right, so you got your driver. But I want you to do this drill with like a 5-iron. All right, and then work it up to your driver. So it's a similar drill that we just did. So you're going out to in, okay? Common thing. So there's two things. One, if you're picking that club up, here's the problem. A lot of people think you're swinging out to in. And you are, but why are you doing that? There's a couple reasons. One, yeah, you could be going out, but if you're going out, chances are you're picking that club up, okay? Because look, like, it's hard for me to go really out here. I mean, you could do it, but if you really are trying to take your hands straight back, that club just automatically is slightly inside. You see this? Unless I push my hands out here. So, but if I pick that club up, now it's so easy to go outside. So my guess, Dave, I think it's David, yeah, is that you're picking that club up because it's a lot easier to get it outside. So what I want you to do is get your alignment stick, okay? This is kind of your thought process. I'm guessing you're going here by picking the club up. And I want you to keep that club on that alignment stick. Just hang this down, you know, with one hand, and it should be just nice and parallel to, you know, your aim. And then keep your club on that stick as you take it back. That's your backswing, okay? The club, I didn't do anything. I didn't take it inside. I didn't take it out. I just kept it on here, and it's, as you can tell, it's already inside of my path of my. It'd be a slightly inside-out swing. And then once you get to the end, that's where you want to take that club up. And that would, if my hands were connected, it'd be a perfect plane, right? So do that there. Then switch hands, okay? Feel that with your left hand. And then what you could do is, you don't really need this for this part of it, but it's good just because you want your hand, your forearms to touch here. And that's your backswing. Right here. Make them touch, and then once they touch, you can come up, okay? So you're gonna do this like 1,000 times, okay? Touch. Before, I didn't lift it up, right? I'm just taking it straight back, and they touch. And then start adding a little rotation. Okay? Just a little bit. And you want to feel that. Okay. Now what you're going to do, okay, this is going to be hard. You want to be here, boom, get rid of that, okay? Then grab the club, and then you're going to swing. Okay? It's kind of a complicated drill, but if you take your time, this would be here. It's touching. Now grab it with your other hand. Okay? Now from here you could just rotate and come up and take that swing. And what you're doing is you're just training your body to get a better backswing. And then, like this is probably what you're doing. You're picking it up, but you can't. Like, see the gap? That gap equals degree of slice. And that's whatever, 40 degrees of slice. That's no good, okay? So take it back, touch your arms together, boom. And now, just like a 3/4 swing. That's gonna help you get on track. All right, let's see what we got here. Eyes open. My misses lately have been high weak fade, falling left, and 10 to 20 yards short of what it should be. It even sneaks in on the drives, and I'm flipping. I want to lower my flight to a more okay. This has been high right fade, falling left. High right fade, falling left. I don't know how that happens, but whatever. And I'm flipping. I want to lower my ball flight. Okay, let's just work on the lower my ball flight piece of this, because I think that'll fix a lot. All right. I like, the ideal shot is high long irons, low short irons. That's ideal. All right, so how do we lower? This is, whatever, a 5 iron, but we'll work on it. So to hit a low iron shot, the more you're rotated, okay, here, the more this handle is allowed to come forward, right? If I'm here and I don't rotate my hips, my hands will flip and my hips will be late. So what I want to do is I want to feel like my left butt cheek is coming back. Okay, I hesitate to say get up on your front foot, because what happens is we lose spine angle here. When you try to get up on that front foot, you come up and you get up here, and then if you lose this spine angle, again, you're going to have to flip to recover. So what I like to do is I'm screwing myself into the ground, so I want to come here and I want to be like here. Well, this is what I want to feel. I'm still on my back foot. I'm going to drive off. But if I really rotate here, okay, look how far this handle is ahead of the ball. Like, it's just impossible. You're not going to release until you're way out here. So what I want you to do is get in your position. All I want you to do is, I don't want you to move forward here. We're not shifting our weight. We're just spinning out to here, okay? So my belt buckle is, gosh, it's almost, whatever, 90 degrees. But it's pointed here. My weight is still, it's on the inside of this back foot. It's on the outside of that front foot. And turned here, okay? And my elbow's tucked in. That's where I want to be. And then from here, I'm going to just go back. It's like a long pitch shot. And hold it off right there. Okay? And it's something I do. I do this all the time with my my short irons. Just rotate here, because these I really want low. So I can get those hands forward here if everything feels great. Really rotated here. And do that. So that's a good drill. And you're going to start feeling that more in your swing. So it's more rotation allows you to bring that handle forward, right? If you don't rotate those hips and you just are here, you're gonna get all bunched up and you're gonna have to flip that thing. So for me, it's all rotation. You can really flight that ball down. Hold on. Just fix this thing real quick. A little too bright. All right. So hopefully that helps you. All right. Okay. SL Jones 22. I struggle with thinning chips under pressure in my club competitions. Great. Okay. Can you do it okay on practice, but lock under pressure? All right. SL Jones, I feel your pain. All right. So, you hear people talk about having a go-to shot all the time. That applies for chipping as well. So here's what I do. And this, a lot of my wedges, I make sure they're designed so that I have a go-to wedge shot. All right. So let's say here's my 54 degree. This would be my sand wedge. I use a lot around the greens. I use my 60 out of the sand mostly. But I use this around the greens a lot. Unless I short side myself, then I use my 60. And this shot will work with both of those clubs. I will hit this thing fat on purpose. That's my go-to shot. That's me. So you got to figure out if that's something you're comfortable with. Now, my fat shot isn't coming down and digging the leading edge into the turf. That's not what I'm talking about. What I do is I just open it up a little bit. I have 10 degrees of bounce here. It adds a, 2 or 3 more degrees of bounce angle, and I hit back here. I hit with the bounce. The bounce hits the ground before the ball. And you could practice that, like when you're on the putting green, just, bounce off the green. I mean, do it off the mat too. You could hear it. I'm not digging the leading edge into the turf. There's a different noise. I'm just skipping the bounce off the ground. And if you hit just behind the ball, you're good. If you hit the ball first, that's good too. You're going to be fine. So you could still have a descending blow and hit a little bit behind the ball. So I just set up center, and I know that, hey, I am going to hit behind the ball a little bit, but I know I'm not going to dig the leading edge into the ground. I'm going to use that bounce. So when I'm under pressure, I feel great about hitting a little chunk and run. So just right. And I hit a little bit behind that ball. It's perfect. And then the pressure's off because I know I'm going to hit behind the ball. That's fine. And I practice that enough to where it's just not a big deal. And then when I've played in a bunch of club competitions myself, I'm playing with a guy. I'll play with somebody, and we're playing a match play, and I hit one of those shots, right? And he's like, oh, you could see him rolling his eyes like I got lucky. I hit it fat, and it rolled out. And I just smile and laugh, and I'm like, man, I totally did that on purpose. And he's laughing like, oh, he got lucky. And then it really messes with people, especially in those match play situations, because they think you're getting lucky, but you're not. You're doing it on purpose. And it just drives them nuts. You'll win more matches just because you have that shot than actually being able to pull that shot off perfectly every time. But it's an easy shot to do. Just practice it a little bit. Practice it about, 10 minutes of practice on that one, you'll get it down. And then you'll be like, oh yeah. Boom. Hit behind the ball. Okay. Okay. I haven't used the swing caddy, so I don't have any thoughts on it at the moment. Sorry, Dustin. Okay, I practice on a range. I'm worried that those balls will be 5 to 10 shorter than my game balls and will hurt my... Okay. Yeah, I mean, range balls are going to be shorter. It's probably not going to mess with your wedges too much. Those 100 and in. I don't think it's taken 5 yards off of those. so much as it is, you know, your drives. So, or your longer stuff. So when I'm at the range and I'm hitting balls, I don't worry about distance. It doesn't matter to me. That's not where I'm dialing in my distance. Obviously, you're gonna know from playing on the course how far each club goes. And the range is really, for me, the range is a place where I'm working on accuracy. Because your aim and where you strike the ball is going to be the same there as it is on the course. And the ball is going to start in the same spot. But the distance is going to be way off. So just when you go to the range, that's why I say the range is the worst enemy in golf, because they give you cheap balls. They're all beat up. They're hit 1,000 times. The range is, you know, 300 yards wide. Sometimes there's no depth. Like there's a giant tree here. Like you would see that on the golf course. You would hit under stuff. You would hit over stuff. But at the range, you just hit out to stuff. So when you're there, really just focus on your drills and focus on alignment and where you're starting the ball, okay? Sometimes I go to the range, it fades and draws. So you know that's the ball is not right. So you can, but I said, okay, it started at my target. And that's, you know, I'll do this a lot, where I get these two little alignment sticks, you know, and I just put these guys like really close. You've seen commercials, Instagram, videos, you know, guys doing this. Putting those two guys together right there. Something I do a lot, and then just put my ball right behind it. You know, it's dangerous. But hopefully, am I going to hit it? Hopefully I don't hit it. So, you know, and this is a great way to tell if you're actually starting the ball online. Because this is a little narrow. So I hit the right one. So I didn't start it perfectly online. But, you know, this is kind of stuff that I would work on at the range, and it would help me know if I'm starting the ball online. So that's the kind of stuff I would work on at the range. Okay, Robin Benwell. All right. Robin, how important is it to keep your left arm straight for a right-handed player? Okay. Let's see. Okay, so it needs to be anywhere from straight to bent right there. Okay? This is probably not good, but pretty straight to a slight bend. I'd say that's critical, because if you're bending it, you're gonna lose power. You're gonna lose swing speed. Chances are you're gonna pick that club up. I mean, there's people, depending on your physical limitations, you know, you're gonna want to hold on. So you want to keep that as straight as, I would say, possible. Would be ideal. So that's your backswing. Okay? And then on your forward swing, again, you want to try to extend it out here and keep it straight. Long, you know, you don't want that breaking down here, because then that's where you get that chicken wing. That's not good. But I'm assuming you're talking about the backswing, so I would keep it pretty straight right in here. How's that? Just adjusting cameras. The sun's coming up. It's getting brighter and brighter, so I'm trying to even these out a little bit. Might be a little dark right now, but I think we're okay. Okay, how important is it to take, hey, Thailand is in the house, hello. Okay, how important is it to take a divot on iron shots? It's not, to be honest with you. Greg Norman, that guy, he never took a divot. Nice shallow swing. He just picked it clean, like all the time, even his wedges, for the most part. So I don't think it's that important, and but you would definitely want to hit the ball first, you know, on those full swings. So however you can do that. If there's a divot, great. If there's not a divot, that's fine too. Don't just think that you have to have a divot, like a divot equals success, because that's not the case. With my mid irons, I probably take a very shallow divot. My wedges, I mean, it's scraping the ground. Sometimes it goes deeper than others, but I don't really think about it too much. Okay, stack and tilt advocates, hands and club forward with all 6% on right foot. What are your thoughts on that? All right, so stack and tilt. I've messed around with it a little bit. Yeah, they have, you know, like more weight on the front foot. And so when I've played around with it, it just hasn't felt comfortable to me. I know a lot of people have a fair amount of success with that. So if it works for you, I'd say do it. Like you look at Mo Norman, watch his videos. I mean, this guy was a, you know, amazing ball striker and had a very unconventional swing. Like his hands were up here, like, and he had some weird stuff going on. So I'd say whatever works for you, I would go with that. For me, like, I do a drill, I call it the forward drill, and it's for people who sway off the ball too much. So if you're a swayer off the ball, you might want to work a little stack and tilt stuff, because that might actually get you to where you need to be. And it's not even a stack and tilt swing, right? Does that make sense? Like if you're way out here, you might need to feel this, and that might equal that. You know what I'm saying? And you could say, oh, I do the stack and tilt, but a stack and tilt guy might say, you're not even close to stack and tilt. But you think you are, because that's what it feels like. So this forward drill I do is, I take it back, I want the weight on my front foot, and then I want to keep it on my front foot on the forward swing. And I do that anytime I feel like I'm swaying off the ball too much. I'll just stay here and stay down through it. And there I just felt like I was on my front foot the whole time. So I don't know if that's stack and tilt. I can even tilt my shoulders back. And that helps me a lot sometimes, because we all get off, and I don't want to be out here. So I'll feel on my forward foot. So I kind of like that. That felt actually good today. I might start working on that. Hello, Australia. I'm just scrolling up, look at some, okay. All right, David has a tough time hitting 3-wood off the deck. Drill for that. Okay, so one I would ask, okay, what are the issues? For one, but it's not the easiest shot. So I would look at your 3-wood first and see if you've got a good 3-wood for you. So mine is a 16.5 degree lofted 3-wood. So it's almost a 4-wood, right? And so it just gives, gives me a ton of confidence actually when I hit this. I know I can get it airborne. So I like that. And I could see a little loft on it, and I like that when I'm hitting something off the turf. So, but here's what I do, because sometimes I played yesterday. I had a few moments where I could have hit this on the par fives, but I didn't because my swing was not feeling great. And so when my swing is not feeling great, I don't hit this off the ground. I just leave it alone. But here's a great drill. Again, I just want a half a swing, and I want to brush the bottom of the club on the ground as I hit. Okay? And feel that. You got to gain confidence hitting this off the ground. Even the mats. But if you're on the ground, that's fine too. If you can't hit it straight with a half a swing, you're not going to hit it straight with a full swing. So that I could just feel I hit a low hook. All right? So what's going on? Chances are I'm picking it up a little too high. So I want to just work it around my body a little more. So I'm going to feel like my hands and everything are more connected. If it's going left, that means you're coming over the top. So you want to drop that in here, and you could take this drill, would be great. Typically people have a hard time with 3 woods because they don't shallow out the club. So this is also a great drill. Come here and feel like that stick, just put an alignment stick here. It does, you want to keep it pointed at the ball as long as possible. So get to the ball, it's pointing at the ball, and I don't want it to start pointing to the left. So here, keep it at the ball as long as possible. And that's as far as I go. And I'm just working on my swing path here with the 3. Okay. And work that out. Start out small and hit it small first, and hopefully it will help get you, okay, thin. It looks like he said he hits it thin and 14 degrees. Okay? So thin, I would say it means you're coming up on the ball a little too much. So probably you're hanging back on the back foot a little bit. So in that case, again, you want to still do that drill, and then try, just with that drill, try not to hit the stick on your left side of your body. Okay? So the only way to do that is to rotate around. So many times, this happens all day long. You get in here, we lose our spine angle with our longer clubs more so than our shorter clubs, right? And losing your spine angle. So here's your setup. This is a this is the symptom of if you're hitting it thin, you're probably losing your spine angle. So here's your setup. This is where everything's good. Okay, here's my spine angle, this angle here. And then when I hit, my butt comes under. And if my butt comes under, I have to get taller. And if I get taller, I have to extend my arms, and now I can't reach the ball, so I hit it thin. Okay? So how do we keep that spine angle? Okay, you've got to, there's two ways you could do it. On the backswing, just make sure you squat and turn, or I like to squat down on the backswing so my squat's done, and then I just turn. And so if you're rotating around, you're able to keep that spine angle. But what we do is we thrust our hips underneath. So you got to feel this hip come back. Okay? Like that. That's a horrible shot, but that's the feeling. When you're doing drills, don't worry about hitting. This is the problem a lot of people have, is they start doing drills and they start hitting the ball horribly while you're doing the drill. That's fine. That's fine. What you're doing is you're learning something. So things are going to be off. You could be doing it perfectly. You have a perfect swing and hit the ball horribly. Don't worry about it. You just got to, just because you're struggling and then you do something different and you don't like it. A lot of times people, I don't like that. It doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work after one swing, or you got to do it like 100 times. And then it'll work. And you'll start changing and things will start working better. So I want to squat down, keep my butt. I'm swinging my butt this way. Boop. That felt good. And then that's just to swing your butt, and you're going to be compact and compress that ball. You're going to love it. But it's going to take time before it feels right. It will feel wrong all the time at first. Okay, Kanu Patel, I think. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Can you guess the reason why I consistently hit my irons closer to the toe than the heel? Yeah, probably. Okay, so first things first, check your setup. Double check, take a picture of your setup. A lot of times I see guys hit on the toe. Well, they set up on the toe, okay? And but they don't realize it. Then I'm like, dude, I just move it right there. Then, oh, that doesn't look right. Well, of course it doesn't look right because you've been doing it wrong for so long. So check your setup. Make sure, come behind the ball. Like I'll do this. I'll come behind the ball, and this is what I do. And I just look. I'm like, okay. Now I'm just looking like somebody else. I'm like, okay, that's perfect. Then I just hold this here, and I come here. I'm like, ooh. Ooh, that looks close. Like I set up with an open face a lot. That's one of my bad habits. So when I do that, I'm like, oh, that looks a little shut. It's perfect because I just looked at it. So look at it, make sure you're set up in the center. First things first. I was playing with a buddy of mine last week, and he was pushing every drive. But he was set up with an open face. And he was trying to mess with the swing. Couldn't figure it out. And then he was like, oh, dude, my face is open. And there you go. And it just messed with the swing path. So sometimes you just shut the face, it will just automatically change your swing path. So that's one reason. Another reason could be where you setting up. So if I set up too far away from the ball and I swing, my hands are getting closer to my body. And so, so it'll cause me to hit it out on the toe. I'm just too far away. I can't, so I would get closer to the ball. Okay, so that would be the second thing I would check. Just get in here close. Stand even closer. Because if you're closer, you have to swing inside out. You just have to. Right? The closer you get, it's hard to, I'm going to hit myself. Hit my body on my swing. I don't want to do that. So the closer I get, I have to hit that out to the right, and hopefully it draws. So check that. Check your setup's always a good spot. So I would guess you're either setting up on the toe or you're a little too far away. You're out here. Okay? Those would be the first two things I check. Yeah. All right, we got a few more minutes here. I like the morning shows. Let me know if you guys like the morning. I like this better. I got to get up at 5 a.m. to set everything up. I don't mind. I'm a morning person. But it's nice and cool. We're nothing overheated. Cameras didn't overheat. It's cooler. Sun's just coming up. It's nice. I like this. Neighbors think I'm crazy. So yeah, most issues I see with people has to do with setup. Setup is the key thing. People kind of hated on one of my drills that I just did, where I asked you to do, set up here, set up here, set up here. Why? Why do I do a drill where you set up here? Totally wrong. It's because people set up like this. People set up back here. So my goal is to say, hey, okay, you set up. Some people set up here. Some people set up way out here. All right? And if I'm having you do a drill where you're going to go through all three of these, you're going to start to figure out that you're going to hit the ball better from here. So if you set a perfect every time, but I'm asking you to do a drill, maybe that drill is not for you, right? You got to kind of figure out which ones are for you, which ones aren't. But like I'll do that. I'll set up here. I'll set up here. And I'll set up behind the ball. Just so I know what is right and what's wrong if you work them all. So it's something that, drills help you get better. It's like, I always tell people when you're in football practice back in the day, I mean, they used to throw tires out there and you have to do high stepping through tires. But you never high step through tires during a game. So why would you do that, right? What you're developing and training your body so that you can perform better. And so all my drills are helping you be able to perform better. And so that's where we're going with that. It's a journey. You're not going to get there overnight. It's going to take a while. We're gonna be on this path our whole lives, trying to improve, and we'll get there. Okay. Also check out, I did my little wedge war video, and I don't think people liked it as much as I thought you would. Did my Mac Daddies versus my Vokies, and I released one video. I did 4 of them. I got 3 more to go. I know my Shot Tracer app, in case you're wondering, I like to have a shot. That thing stopped working, so it's kind of messed up. I don't know. It just crashes every time I try to do a Shot Tracer. Even on my course vlogs. I got a course vlog coming out, Pelican Hill. Played there yesterday. And we got another course, Terrania, coming out. So be on the lookout for those. And hopefully do some cool on-course vlogs. I'm trying to make it so it's more of like a playing lesson. It's hard to get it down right, because you're playing with other people. They don't want to wait around while you're talking to yourself. Okay. Any ideas for the first shot? This will be the last question. Ian, any ideas for the first shot in a match where you're just trying to hit the fairway? Okay, so you're in a match. All right, great. So here's what I do. I'm in a match. You're on the first tee. And what I think, okay, I just try to remember the fact that it's match play, right? And this is the first hole. I tell myself ahead of time, if it's match play, it's gonna be a long day. There's 18 holes. I'm gonna win some holes. I might lose some holes, right? This guy's nervous too. So I'm really just thinking like, look, I tell myself, honestly, like it's a mental game at this point. And I tell myself, this shot doesn't matter. This shot, I mean, I don't really care. And I'm like, I don't really care about this shot. It doesn't matter. You know what's gonna matter? If I pipe this down the fairway and put a little pressure on him, then it matters to him. But for me, I don't care. Like, that's my mindset. Like, I don't care. And so I go up there, I'm like, you know what, I don't care. Just like you're at the range or something, or when you're warmed up. I'm like, I don't care. But, so with that being said, I also don't overswing. I take 3/4 driver, because I'm nervous. It's first tee jitters. You have a tendency, the adrenaline's pumping a little more than you want. So I just try to say, okay, I'm going to shorten the swing, and I don't care. So those are my 2 thoughts. All right, I don't care. Shorten my swing, I don't care what happens. And then just let it go. So those are my last 2 thoughts. I don't care, shorten my swing. Yes, David, I do use the Gen 1 ball for putting practice. I actually think it works really good. Inside 20 feet. Outside 20 feet, I didn't get as accurate as I wanted to. So I do think the Gen I1 ball is great for putting, and they're coming out with Gen I2. You're gonna be chipping in full swings. There's got a lot going on. It's super exciting. Actually, have a meeting with the owner of that company today. It's part of the reason we're doing the show early, because I'm meeting with him. We're gonna talk Gen I2, we're gonna talk a lot of things, and he's gonna give me the lowdown on what's coming from them. So I'm excited about that. It's gonna be great, and we're gonna set up. I actually, got some cool things planned with them for Mr. Short Game. You might actually be able to play Mr. Short Game, Mr. Short Game events. How cool would that be? I think it'd be awesome. Anyways, that's it for the day. Thanks for watching. We're done. Live show, bright and early. Rock on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the support. Like, share, subscribe. Appreciate it. All right. And can you hear my chickens? I don't know. They're over there. Anyways, we're out. Peace out. Have an awesome day. Go kill it. Don't kill anybody. Just kill the round. Kill the practice. I'm done talking.